Luxury German sedans depreciate the most.
They're depreciation bombs.
Yeah.
And then most Chinese vehicles.
Most Chinese vehicles. I agree to that.
So the thing about Chinese vehicles is the depreciation curve, the long-term value hasn't been established yet. The second-hand market hasn't been established yet.
Was it 2.5, 3 years old, realistically?
Realistically. So the second-hand market's not yet established. And you're getting very, very lucrative deals on new cars.
Yes.
The only thing that's going to turn that around is if the Chinese OEMs stop subsidizing the cars, if they're subsidizing them on entry in the country.
That's one of the things that could, and the second one is my theory on how to kill them.
Well, we can get into that next. And then the thing you will lose value on is if you buy a brand new EV.
Brand new EV.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if you buy a brand new EV, so EVs are still a wealthy person's game. You've got to buy it because you love to drive it, because it's cool.
I disagree. So
a brand new EV.
No. If you buy a used one.
Yeah, no, used, but we spoke about used.
Yeah.
Used, you can actually flip it and lose less money.
Yeah. A new one, I agree.
Yeah,
So
new one.
stay away.
Yeah, this is the avoid list.
Yeah. I get a reach out on Instagram, DM. Hi, Bobby. Love your content. My wife has an i3 BMW. I live in Cape Town, and it's a 2022 model.
Yeah, but that's a second-hand i3. I mean,
Yeah.
you're not going to lose money on that.
So, my friend, we buy the car, we make a ton of money. We did really well. Customers also happy because he got a deal on the car he bought from us. But I'm driving this car to work, and you taught me this. I'm speaking to ChatGPT. So, ChatGPT, I'm driving a 2022 i3 BMW. And what would it cost me to fully charge this vehicle from zero to its maximum capacity, which is 260 kilometers at current ESCOM rates? When you don't have the luxury of quickly popping into a supercharger because there's nothing close to mouse, come in like a cell phone, plug it in the wall. 102 Rand. Okay, so if you live in Pretoria and you work in Joburg, let's say it's a 140 kilometers commute, it will cost you 60 or 70 Rand for the trip both ways. Save a bunch of money, my friend. It makes sense in every way.
Every way, except the depreciation.
Except the depreciation.
But on the i3, it makes sense even because there's hardly depreciation.
Yes.
So if you can get your hands on a BMW i3 and you're doing Pretoria to Joburg for under 100 Rand,
My friend, it's for free.
it's for free. If you look after that battery, you're literally driving on thin air.
How do you look after the battery? What does that mean?
So those older i3s don't have the technology that the latest EVs have. So the battery management technology isn't as great as the current EVs. So the practices are don't charge it to full all the time.
Okay, so because you can set it to 80%.
Well, not in those i3s.
You can't in those.
Not in the older ones.
Okay, so you have to almost time it.
Yes, unless they updated the
software.
The software, which
Okay.
I don't think they did.
So you shouldn't charge it to full all
And
the
don't
time.
let it get under 20%.
Okay.
So drive it between 20 and 80, and then sometimes charge it to full because you got to watch out for battery memory.
Okay.
And then you are literally driving on thin air.
Kick-ass car.
You're
Very nice.
using the sun.
Yeah.
And if
100%.
you've got solar in your house, you're driving for free.
For free. Absolutely.
Absolutely
for
for
free.
free.
Good.
So avoid the depreciation, buy yourself an EV, secondhand, and you'll be driving for free.
Awesome. Okay.
How do beat? So at the moment,
Yes.
a couple of years ago, Chinese penetration I think was at about 3%.
Yes.
I think that's 3x'd now.
So it's almost creeping into double digits.
Almost double digits. Rumor has it that the market penetration of Chinese vehicles in South Africa could reach north of 20% by 2030
North of 20%. That's devastating for everybody here.
in terms of vehicle sales.
Devastating.
So second-hand market's not yet established. Don't know what that's going to do. Depends on cars coming in. If cars coming in become more expensive, if international trade relations change with tariffs or whatever the case may be, which I don't see happening, their cars might become more expensive, which then will hold up the second-hand market. But at the current state of the situation that we're in now, we haven't established a proper second-hand market for Chinese vehicles yet. So let's assume for a second, current state of play continues. What would your strategy be?
Okay.
If you were a German manufacturer or a European car manufacturer, what would your strategy be to compete?
All right. So up to this point, we've had peacetime leaders run these behemoth companies. Peacetime leaders, in my opinion, are leaders that are super focused on efficiency. I've visited the BMW plant many, many times, and I've seen 3 Series being built, X3 being built, how everything is measured. The last time I was there, it got so detailed that we know how much sparks fly off each and every spot weld. That's how well-oiled machine we have here. We focus on efficiency, we focus on saving costs, we focus on optimal temperatures, optimal amount of paint that we use so that each and every car gets pumped out as cost effective as possible and distributed all over the world as cost effective as possible. Okay, that's a peacetime leader. And over the years, we get 0.3% better in this area, 0.6% better in that area, and that's how we've been able to scale. Peacetime leader. Okay, all of a sudden, you've got a disruptor which has never ever been this dominant coming into the markets all over the world. But let's focus on South Africa. And they go in 3 years, 2 years, from 3 to double-digit percentages. Peacetime leadership, we spoke off camera, Kiara. You mentioned that the VW leadership described the increase of the Polo price as a dilution between multiple countries. So sort of like evening out, it's more expensive to manufacture here, it's less expensive here, let's sort of get an average and push that average price onto the world economy. Is that how I understood it?
So it's more taking up the debt of a country and shifting it globally so that they can make up the debt in other countries.
Okay, so cost shifting.
Yeah.
All right. And how's that worked out for them? Not great, right? Results are poor. Here's me as a wartime leader. All right. The molds that we've owned for the last 20 years for the Polo Vivo model, I'm sure they've been paid off multiple times. Okay, we do have them. Why don't we, and it will cause a problem, but I've got a solution to the problem. Why don't we bring out a Polo Vivo at 199,900, brand new car? Okay, how do we save face?
Flood the market with the baseline.
100%. How do we save face with the consumers that have bought that same vehicle for 249,900? Very easy. If your vehicle is maintained, we will give you a 3-year extension on service plan and a 2-year extension of warranty. Everybody smiles. Everybody's happy. Nobody will kick a riot. The under 200,000 Rand market, which by the way, the Chinese are coming for. I've heard rumors with a Cherry Pro 2 and a Cherry Pro 3 that will come in at 189,900. Okay. So
Where do you get a car for 189,900 now?
Yeah. It's coming from China. Okay, so that market we immediately take full control of. We take it back. Okay, the one Chinese car which copy and paste into different looks.
So force them into a price war.
100%. 100%. Can VW do it? I bet you they can. There's no new innovation. There's no R&D, research and development and market and go and study this and data. Just make it cheaper.
We manufacture the
Here,
VW
right
Polo.
here.
Yeah.
Right here. Okay. The one Chinese car that morphs into many is the Cherry Tiggo 4. Okay. Sometimes it looks like a Cherry Tiggo 4. Sometimes it looks like an Omoda. Sometimes it looks like a Jetour. At its core, it's the same car. That car comes in sometimes at 339, sometimes at 439. Just, different makeup and different skirt and different shoes. Sometimes it wears stiletto, sometimes it looks like it's wearing tax.